Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. I'm that you are having a great day, and in today's video, I'd like to sit back in the kind of squeaky chair, relax, and have a little conversation with all of you guys about taking risks, going against the grain, and buying garbage. Yeah, buying trash. That's what today's video is about. You see, lately I have added a new YouTube channel to my watch list. Full Moon Games, I believe, is the title. It is a card store channel that puts out, well, card store channel videos. Talks about what he's up to and his overall opinions. Pretty good stuff. Today's video from him, however, was about whether or not it was wise to be following the hype train, so to speak, and buying all the new hot ticket items that have so much fervor behind them when there's so many good opportunities out there in the TCG world. Overlooked items, boxes that the wider market has rejected, or boxes that have collapsed in price and are still very affordable, even now, years after they were originally printed. And what I thought I'd do in today's video is take two different items and showcase them side by side and talk about the two different kind of outcomes that can occur from kind of going against the grain and taking a little bit of a risk and buying some of those underappreciated or overlooked or even outright hated boxes out there, because there are some janky ass products out there that a large portion of the TCG market just doesn't have much of an interest in, whether it's commander decks or ancillary products or whatever have you, right? So, in today's video, I've got two products to showcase for you. One of them is, I forget which one it is. This one. It's got to be this one. The Pokemon Trick or Trade Booster Bundles. If you guys don't remember what these are, these were a Halloween specialty set, reprint set for Pokemon. Came out a few years ago. It's had some new versions updated ever since. It is a wacky little product, and it's had a few different versions. There's this one, and then there's this one, and then I guess there's a green one. Doesn't really matter. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that one, and I'm also going to talk about Alliance Insight, a Yu-Gi-Oh product that absolutely nobody wants, right? And we're going to talk about these two because I was able to get these for similar price tags. Not the exact same price tag, mind you, but similar price tags. You see, when I was buying these for quite a while, actually, these were around $15 to $20 a piece, averaging around $16 to $17 because you could get a lot of these after the first wave came out a few years ago for basically nothing. And I did end up buying quite a lot of them because mostly because I like Halloween. I think I've talked about this on the channel before too. I just like the product. I think it's cool giving kids some little Pokemon cards for Halloween. It's just fun. And then Alliance Insight is one of the many Yu-Gi-Oh products that nobody wants. It's gone to zero. It's under $30 or whatever have you. And there was a store who was actually just throwing these away basically, and I was able to get a few boxes from them for I think $18 a piece. So similar price tags, right? And I felt that those were both appropriate to talk about in the context of this video, in the context of taking risks and grabbing things that you might like or have hopes for, regardless of what the wider market thinks. And the end result is there are two things, and really only two things that can happen if you decide to take these risks, okay? You can have something like the Trick or Trade Booster Bundle that does sit there on the shelf for a year or two and does nothing and just gathers dust, but eventually people want it. And it goes from a $20 or under product to, I think people are selling these for between $50 and $60 now. It's absolutely wild to think about. For a silly side product that was just meant to be a good gift for kids, little throwaway thing that's completely full of reprints, it's a $60 bag. It's wild to me. And that's the upside. You know, you take a risk, you buy an ancillary product or a box or a deck that nobody wants, and down the road, as it gets older and older and more of it disappears from the market, it goes up. Sometimes just a bit, you know. Something can double in price, or it can have an effect like the Trick or Trade Booster Bundles, where it's not just a tiny bit, that's a tripling. A tripling in price for a product like that is absolutely wild. And it doesn't really matter what the card game is, what the individual product is. You triple your money in just, I think, 4 years was the last time these were sold in stores, for this particular version of it, at least. And tripling your money in just 4 years is amazing. And like, make no mistake, it doesn't really matter what, like I said, it does not matter what you're parking your money into. If you have faith in the product and it does triple in just that small amount of time, that's a that's a good payout right there. Okay, so, and it doesn't just have to be the tripling, it can just double in 4 years. That's still pretty good. Even if it only goes up 150%, that's still pretty good. The good ending here, what I'm trying to say, is that there's a chance that whatever you buy could go up. Sometimes just a bit. Like I said, it could go up $50 on a $100 purchase, right? Or it could triple to $300. Or it could do what some, I don't know, collector boosters for Magic do, where it shoots up to over $1,000 in just a few short years. The upside is that you could be lucky, because it's usually luck. Let's be honest here. No one can predict the future. It doesn't matter how you analyze whatever product it is you're analyzing. It largely comes down to luck, whether or not what you picked is going to shoot up or not. Because, in my opinion at least, luck rather than analytics drives a lot of the TCG market. But that's a discussion for another video. So that's the upside. The upside is you picked right and the stuff you bought goes up. Good job. But what's the downside risk? Because there is downside risk. The downside risk is, well, you buy something and it's a $30 box product and it sits there unwanted, unloved for years. And it never really appreciates too much. Ever. Now, what do you do with a box full of garbage cards? Well, if it sits there unwanted and unloved for years and your diamond hands are failing you, you still have 2 more options. That's right, this isn't a 2 options video, this is a 3 option video. You can keep it on your shelf, or you can decide that you need a bit of extra cash. So you decide to rip open that box for bulk. And I'm going to break that down for you, okay? On TCG Player, I sell bulk cards at a minimum of 15 cents. All right. TCG Player fees right now per order, shipping and all that jazz, are $1.49. So at the end of the day, I sell a 15-cent card and someone gets charged $1.64. I think they did that math right. For that 15-cent card, TCG Player then files me a fee for 53 cents. So after everything's said and done, and the customer has paid and I've sent the card out, I'm getting $1.11. I'm 99% sure I did that math right. Well, that's not the end of the story. Sure, I have $1.11 coming my way, but there's also additional fees for that card. I have to pay the shipping cost. I think it's 70 something plus cents for a stamp. There's the top loader, which costs a few pennies. There's the sleeve, which costs a penny. There's the envelope, which costs 5 to 6 cents, depending on how many you get in a bulk order. The paper, the tape, those cost like a penny each per order. Overall shipping costs can be as low as like 85 cents to as high as 96 cents. Again, depending on how much I get in a big old bulk order, right? So, like on a bad day, I sell a card for, if it's 96 cents, I'm making about 15 cents, right? 1.11 minus 95, yeah, it's 15 cents. So I'm selling a card for 15 cents and I'm getting 15 cents out of it. It all comes out in the wash, right? But on a good day, if everything works out and everything's hunky-dory and it's more than a 15-cent card, it's like upwards of 26 cents you can be making for that bulk card. Good. That's double 15 almost. Well, let's do the math again and again. Feel free to double check me in the comment section because I am not good at math. I'm trying to do this on the fly. So this is a $30 Yu-Gi-Oh box, abouts. Around there anyway. So you could just toss this to the market, make $30. Shipping and handling fees apply. You'll walk away with something, right? Like $24 after everything's said and done. But 9 cards per pack, 24 packs per box, so that's 216 cards total. You take those, You toss them on the market, right, as bulk. Again, assuming you get no hits either. This is assuming you get no hits. Every card you pull is absolute jank ass. You don't get a single secret rare or whatever per your box. And remember, Yu-Gi-Oh boxes usually have two of those. Or at least in my experience, they usually have two of those. So you take that 15 to 26 cents and you do the math, and at 15 cents, it's $32 a box. And at 26 cents, it's 50 something, 55, 56. So there's a range, but notice that it's not 30. It's, I think 32 is the floor if you manage to sell all the cards. And obviously, bulk is not a fast seller, you know. Make no mistake, I'm not trying to lead you guys on that you can crack it for bulk and the bulk will sell right away. I'm just saying that if all the cards sell, you'll make $32 bare minimum after everything's said and done. Or assuming that you do pretty good and your shipping costs are super low and you get some hits, that's an upwards reward of $56. Now, I only paid 18 bucks for this, I think. 56 is a lot more than 18. 32 is a lot more than 18. So even if I cracked it for bulk and got the absolute bare minimum, I'm still making a profit. And that's part of the appeal behind a certain price range. You know, if the box never goes up and I have to crack it for bulk, it still makes some money. Now, of course, not every box is going to be like that. You know, this is an extreme example. Loud truck zipping by. It's an extreme example, obviously, but I feel like an extreme example is necessary to point out something unique about this situation. I don't think Alliance Insight boxes are going to stay at $30 forever. There's not an infinite amount of them on the market. There are still Yu-Gi-Oh players and collectors who buy them actively quite often, myself included. And every day, more and more of them disappear. And that puts some upward pressure on it. But assuming that that wasn't the case and there was infinity boxes out there, there's still upsides just to grabbing the cheapo product, because there's a decent chance that even if you pull no hits, and that's a very unfortunate day if that happens, even if you pull no hits, you can still get some money back and some enjoyment out of cracking the product and some chance of an upside, because again, you could just have a Pokemon situation where suddenly everybody wants Alliance Insight for some reason. Now, this isn't me trying to tell you that you should go out there and buy every single $30 Yu-Gi-Oh box you can. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I think like I've covered this before, but instead what I'm trying to say is, if there's stuff out there that you have faith in as a product line, let's say that you're the biggest Star Wars Unlimited fan right now, ever. You are super into that card game for some reason. Or, you know, you're super into Magic the Gathering. There are products that are super overlooked in that game. Magic, Star Wars, Force of Will, Flesh and Blood. There are products, boxes, that it seems like nobody wants, despite how much faith they might have in that card game. And I'm here to say that if you have a lot of faith in something and you see an opportunity, you see a booster box or a deck or a special ancillary product that's still pretty cheap even 2 years after release, what are the upside risks? What are the downside risks? Can you afford to take those risks? Those are questions you should be asking yourself if you're in this at all to make any kind of money. From time to time, I check out eBay. There's a few different liquidation wholesalers who just dump a shitload of warehouse product onto eBay all the time. Okay, every day they're updating their stuff, and occasionally you'll see card boxes on there. Not always TCG card boxes. Sometimes it's just trading card boxes, like some old Power Rangers stuff popped up the other day that I was really tempted by. There were some Frozen 2 trading cards that I yoinked up. Should be around here somewhere, actually, now that I think about it. The point is, there's deals all the time. If you look hard enough, if you look long enough, you're going to find some really cool deals. And if you have faith in the product, if you have confidence, that the game that you see a deal for is going to stick around for a long time, sometimes a deal is a no-brainer. But anyway, in this video, I was really just looking to follow up on, piggyback off of Full Moon Games' video and talk about the upsides and downsides. And I think the upsides and downsides speak for themselves. Assuming I did the math right. Double check my math in the comment section below. But good day, 15 cents. A bad day, or sorry, a good day, 26 cents. Bad day, 15 cents. That math's out right. That should be $32 to $56. 57? No, 56. I'm not good at math, in case you guys couldn't tell. But anyway, before I show off how ignorant I am of the world of numbers, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Check out Full Moon Games. Good stuff on that channel. And yeah, that's all I got. Ciao.